Hey everybody, so doing a little check-in here. It's been a while since I've done a video, and here I'll look at the camera. um, there's so much energy that's being blasted at us that we're feeling, so much happening on Earth, peeling back the layers in our lives, our own personal healing is happening, and then we're feeling that reflected at a global level with some of these tragedies, the animals that are suffering in different places of the world, the earth herself and the plants. Knowing that Mother Earth can heal herself, and this is all happening hopefully for our own collective awakening and, and planetary evolution. So, having said all of that, we know, or hopefully we know, that we what we experience at a micro level is very similar to what's happening at a macro level. And when we're doing the own work in our lives, it's not as if, sometimes can feel like it's selfish. We're doing so much stuff focused on ourselves. But ultimately, what happens is when we are healing ourselves, healing our own negative stuff, anger towards people who've done something to us, or just feeling like we're not enough, doubting ourselves. Um, those emotions that have been holding us back, a lot of us, myself included, that this is the time to release those and begin to clear those and clear out the thoughts that are telling us why we can't expand and do what we, become who we are as part of our what we feel we want to be doing to make a difference in the world and to help. So through this experience that we're all going through as a collective humanity, we're being asked to peel back those layers one by one of all of this false stories, of the patterns, of the self-limiting thoughts, of the traumas, little and big. And one of the best ways that I've found to do that is through getting with the subconscious mind, because that's where these things are often held. Things we've experienced as children in those young childhood years, those are called the imprint years, between the ages of like 4 and 10. Anything that is said to us that we experience that is deep, gets very deeply buried. And as that inner child within us, that young child, what it experiences, it starts to believe is truth. And so what happens is we carry these beliefs about, it's not safe to connect with people, or we can't make a living, or it's not okay to do creative work because people will tell us it's bad, or we are not able to be loved, or we're not lovable because of things that usually it's our parents, right? As much as we may love them, things that we experience. Sometimes it's teachers, other adults that we look up to. So at any rate, when we get into the subconscious mind, we can identify where are those things that are those beliefs, where are they being held, what are they saying to us, what information do they have for us, and do we start to pick them apart. Do we really believe they're true? Do we really believe that we need to keep listening to them? This is all part of that negative ego, right? At that core of that onion is that inner child, but then those layers beyond that onion are how that inner child shows up and morphs into this voice in our head that is often shows up as the negative ego voice, the fears, doubts, worries, self-limiting thoughts. So I do a lot of this work, as many of you know, with hypnotherapy, with bringing in higher guidance, angels, especially spirit guides, to help, surrender and help us know that we don't have to do all this ourselves, and they're here to help us. And another way that we can work through that is with something called neurolinguistic programming. It's a mouthful, NLP, as a tool to kind of create new associations and new thought patterns through the process of visualization and using words. So the word neuro is about brain and linguistic is about words, and the word programming is creating new associations in the brain. So I'm really excited to be, as many of you know, I like to offer free things as much as I can online so they can be available to people anywhere. I'm going to be doing a workshop that is one of these called Reprogramming the Mind on Wednesday, January 29th. at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And in that workshop, if you want to join us, I hope you do, we'll be talking about, you'll be identifying what is something that seems to be a stuck area in your life, like a recurring thought, a recurring pattern, something that you can call up an image about and have a memory about, and then we'll move back and forth between, how do you want to feel? What's the opposite of that negative thing? And creating that association in your mind of what would be the opposite positive of that negative belief or pattern or just memory or experience that you had that you want to remove from your mind. And then we'll go back and forth. This is called the swish technique. And I've tweaked it a little bit to because of what I like to do with people. I made it my own. And create new positive associations and new memories with a new way we want to be based on a lot of different things. I have too much to go into detail here, but it's a really interesting and wonderful way to create new brain associations with something simple as, create, like what I did is I wanted to get up every morning and do yoga and meditation as a way to start my day. And I did this swish technique and started doing that regularly. I still do it. And I also wanted to exercise more, so I started visualizing myself doing that, associating with some of the negative, lethargic thoughts if I don't feel like doing it, or I'm too tired, or don't have time, and creating this, using this vision of how good I would feel when I did start exercising, and how happy I'd be, and how proud of myself, and how good I'd feel in my body, to create a new, motivation really in my subconscious mind to help me do that. So both of these things are new habits I've instilled, but this can be done with anything that is not just a habit, but a deep-seated belief. So I hope you will join us for this workshop and experience NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. It's very cool. It's something you can do on your own. It's a hypnotherapy technique, but it's very short, and you can learn how to do it in these, just a few minutes. You don't have to go to a hypnotherapist to do it. You can learn how to do it on your own, and I'll show you a little bit how to do that. So hope everybody's hanging in there with this, we're being squeezed, this energy of being squeezed and having all our stuff come to the surface. Keep quieting the mind, connecting with higher guidance, meditating. Well, that's quieting the mind. I say it again because it's so important. And working through the stuff, allowing the emotions to be felt and expressed, and then trying to reframe those negative thoughts that really aren't who we are deep down. So, all right, thanks for being here, and look forward to seeing you next week.